we're going to move on to the Pro C. Pro Cs are our newest addition to the family. Feature-wise, they're packed with a whole bunch of great race-inspired, items. Here's one that's already assembled, gives you an idea of what they look like in difference. There's more components to this, but they're just as easy to assemble. You got the spring, you've got one more perch than what's included in the Pro S. You've got a lower perch, and you have a shock adjustment. This just makes it easier for you to manually adjust the actual dampening. So now that we've kind of spec'd out what's different in the two kits, we're going to go ahead and put it together. In this coilover, we're actually going to do things a little bit reverse. Instead of putting on the jam nuts first, we're going to install the spring perch first. Again, hold the body at an angle, it allows the perch to spin on a little easier. Now with this one, you don't want to go down as far as you can, you want to go up as far as you can. You're going to spin this up to about the point where the dust boot is. Alright, that should be good. Now you have a jam nut for the upper perch. This is the perch that holds the spring. This is the jam nut that's going to keep the spring in its position. Okay, you take the other jam nut, and you don't necessarily need to spin that up to the bottom of the other jam nut. Okay, now that we've got the jam nuts in place and the spring perch in place, I'm going to introduce the lower mounting point. This is what's unique about the Pro C coilover over the Pro S coilovers. See, this lower perch actually has the brake line attachments, which is what I've come to find is unique. Not a lot of the companies that manufacture coilovers include this bracket, so you have to zip tie your brake lines and keep them out of danger's way. Okay, this is majority of this is already finished here. You drop the spring in place. You're going to take one of the two. I don't think it really matters. Drop one washer on. Take the rubber cushion for the top of the spring. Again, the same hat essentially as the hat we saw on the Pro S. Okay, it looks like we went up too high, so let's lower this a little bit. Got to be able to get the washer and the lock nut on. Okay, so I think that's adequate for what we're doing. So you take the washer and the lock nut. Here's the adjustment here. With the Pro C coilovers, this adjustment here is a little hard to operate manually, but you can tell if you start to click it, you'll hear these little clicks. Each one of those clicks represents a stopping point for the valving that's been built into the shock. We include these cool little knurled aluminum fittings that you just push down. It's an O-ring fit, so be very careful. But once you do that, it makes it very easy to go ahead and adjust the dampening. Now, on the Pro Cs, there's precise 12-way adjustments. A lot of our competitors, coilovers, will actually tout or advertise that they have 24-way or up to 32-way adjustments. I actually ended up taking one of those types of shocks, or coilovers, off my vehicle and replaced it with the Pro Cs, and realized that each click, each one of these 12 clicks that we have are very, very different. Where it took a lot of effort for me to realize what the adjustment was like on a 32-way or a 24-way adjustable shock. You could click away, 10 different positions, take the car for a spin, and never realize, what that did for handling or performance. So it's it may be a selling point to some. For us, the lower the number, making sure that the separation between the clicks is very important.